Alright, hello everybody, this is Line. Today is video day number 94, and for today's video I'm going to be creating a sprite graphic map for a 3/4 view game. So I've already made all my guidelines, and just quickly, if anybody's interested in making games, I will be posting this sprite. Well, I'll keep it in my inventory, but if you want this sprite with all the guides already set up, just send me an email to line@linedetail.com. Let me write it up on my screen. Boop-a-doop. Wow, that's really bad. Line. Oh, snapping is on. No snapping. line@linedetail.com. And and just request the game sprite PSD game design from game design and chat.com. So yeah, for you guys who are just watching my blog, I have a site called gamedesignandchat.com, and there people can come and screen share and chat live on webcam, with voice, to share their work or get critiques, get help, etc. So so yeah, I have multiple communities and multiple things that I do online. It's pretty cool. So anyhow, yeah, send me an email, line@linedetail.com, if you want this PSD, so this way you can make your own tiles and graphics for a 3/4 view game. So now I'm going to begin. I'm just going to set my timer for an hour. We're going to see how much work we could do in an hour, and then maybe we'll continue with another hour as well. Okay, Google, set a timer for 1 hour. Alright, here we go. Starting. So I have my screen res set for 1900 by 1000, and so I'm doing this in Photoshop. Some other people may make their graphics using something else. I gotta turn snapping back on. I don't really have to turn snapping back on for this point, but it's good to keep things in the grid. So I've got my tile here. So I'm making a floor tile, and I'm going to name it floor tile number 1, and I'll put an underscore next to it. The reason why I'll show you momentarily. So the first thing I'm going to do after I make my naming of my tile is I'm going to turn it into a smart object. And a smart object in Photoshop is like having a PSD linked inside of a PSD. Photoshop document inside of a Photoshop document. So real quickly, I'm going to Alt and drag out the floor tile, and I'm going to do it again. So now I have 3 of them, and so now you can see it says floor tile underscore 1 underscore copy underscore copy 2. So now I have multiple copies, and if I were to double click on the graphic area of the layer, it will now pop up just that one tile that I had made into another window. So another quick thing I'm going to do is just draw something in here. Okay, so let's make another layer, and in this way you'll see why I'm doing this, or how this works out. So even though you made a graphic and you copied it on another layer, now I'll hit save, and just FYI, I'm going to show you this real quick. When it goes into its own game object, the file becomes the name of the layer plus .psb. So as you can see right here, it's .psb. We'll show. And I really should Google what this is. So let me open a new window. Bloop. What does .psb stand for? Oh, yeah, in Photoshop. Photoshop big? Oh, No, I don't believe that's what it is, but I guess it could be it. Alright, so anyhow, real quickly, let's go back to full screen. So I'm saving the document, and I'm going back here, and now you can see all my tiles have updated inside of Photoshop. So if you're making a tile game where you're trying to create something cool for a game, this is a really cool way to do it. And then I'm going to show you something even cooler if you haven't watched my other videos on animation. But it definitely helps expedite your game design process. So right now we have our little tiles here. Quickly, I guess I could just make a quick level, so this way we'll know how the game is going to look. So I'm just going to do some quick sketching. By the way, if you ever hear anybody talking, it's some people who are joining me here in game. I've got Rasmus Clausen. I hope I said your name correctly. Did I?
Yeah.
All right. And we've got Kristen Slavkov, both game designers or people interested in game design or making graphics and game design. So they're both in the Hangout with me. So if you ever hear them talking, maybe they'll be asking questions or just talking amongst themselves. So hopefully I don't say too much over you guys. So if you guys have anything to say, you're welcome to keep talking, even though I'm recording this for the vlog. No worries. All right. So let's say we have ourselves an entry. Well, let's just choose a neon green color or pink. I'm not going to put pink in my game at the moment. So this will be like entryway, and then we've got a room like this. Or hold on, no, it's too big. Like this. Okay. And maybe we'll have another way out that way. So all this pink area, these are walls, or where walls will be. And then I will bring this down lower. Shaboop. Come on. Come. There you go. Alright, so those are my walls. Wall areas. And anywhere that there are walls, I will put the floors below them. Or actually, I shouldn't say walls. Not walls, sorry guys. That's where my tiles will end. The walls will be outside of that. So, gotta Alt-Tab. Sometimes running the Google Hangout, the graphics get a little messed up, or Photoshop freaks out just a tiny bit. I think there's like overlaid graphics. The Google Hangouts wants to let me know that it's still screen sharing. So the reason why we did the grid system is because when you have snap turned on, it just makes it a lot easier to snap all of your tiles. And of course, you don't have to do all this tiling and graphic stuff in Photoshop. You might do it in Unity or whatever game engine you're using and snap it in there, because of course the game designer is going to want to do it that way. But if you're trying to do this and maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe I could mock up a stage, or you could just complete like a whole level design in Photoshop and then bring it into your game engine, this is another way to do it. So, oh, I see what I was doing over here. Undo, 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 undo. So I'm just going to go around this. At least that was the intention. Whoops. Cool. So, Photoshop will normally snap on its own, and if you want to like align it to one direction, you can hold the Shift key, and so as long as you're dragging in one direction already, it'll stay going in that direction. And the way I'm doing this real quickly is, like, I'm sure you could hotkey duplicating a layer, but if you hold the Alt key and you drag a layer, it will duplicate that layer. So that's what I'm doing right now. So every time I drag off of a layer, you know, on the first click, it will drag that last layer over. All right. Okay, so now we have our tiles all set up in the room. Cool. And now let's make them look a little nicer. So the tile that's set up is all based on the original graphic that you made into a smart object. So right now I'm holding Control Alt and hitting the I key to show my image size. So as you see here, it's set to 100 width by 100 height. And you can always edit that by changing the canvas size if you want to. And then, of course, it'll update inside of Photoshop. However, I highly suggest that you don't go around tiling all over like I just did and then change the size, because if you do, well, I'll show you what happens. So let's say we make it 110 pixels height. Boop. And then you save it. Hold on, let me just add some pink in there so this way you can see what is going to occur. Boom, saved it. And now you have all of these weird pink things all over the place, and you know, nothing is tiled and spaced out properly. So you don't want to do that. So I'm going to hit undo and save again and back. And everything should be back the way it should be. Cool, as it is. All right. So, okay, so back to making a cool tile. Da-da-da. So I'm going to make an 80 by 80 square and center it, and then get rid of that other thing I had. I'll put a border on it so it's perfect. Or you know what? I'm going to use a bevel because I want to give it like a an effect. Interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover up the graphic there. Okay. Inner bevel, pillar, outer. Okay, so we could do outer. Make it 25%. Oh, that sucks. Don't do that. Hit OK. Alright, cool. So I'm just going to use the eyedropper tool, grab this gray, come back to this. Will it be there? It won't be there. Poopsies. Yeah, it won't let me grab from there. Alright. 5454. So I'll save that. I'm going to make my background just black because it's annoying to go back to a screen that's got white in it. I don't want to blind everyone by going all tabbing from a really dark screen to a really light screen. Alright, let me make a new layer. I'm going to put a mask on this. And I'm going to add like a cool like grid effect going through it. Let me grab the color that's here. That didn't do it. Oh, because I'm in a mask. Duh! Alright, so we'll go with 1 and a height of 200 because we're going to be turning this 45 degrees. And it does not matter what the size of the graphics is that are inside of your PSB file. It won't modify your tile at all. It will only stick to the tile canvas size. So you're good. Don't have to worry. Alright, so I made a couple of these little lines. Then I can copy that. 5 pixels, good. Trying to make them evenly spaced. Great. So now I have a bunch of my lines here, and just going to rotate. Cool. So now if we go back to my game, now we've got all these lines. And I'm going to put those in a folder, and maybe I'll do another one, so I'll turn them so that they're all like this. But when you look at this, it's really, let me go and save it and go back. It's a little basic, so let's, put them all into another folder. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to turn them 45 degrees. And Photoshop lets me know, I don't know if you see this little thing on the left side, but it says 45 degrees. And so bam, now we've got a 45 degree angle thing. And now I just noticed I should have added some extra lines, but it's too late. No, it's not too late. I made a copy. Ha ha ha. Okay. Group. Vertical lines. And then we'll make another one for horizontal. Horizontal line. What am I doing? Horizontal lines. Okay. And again, we will copy this. And hopefully I did it in the right spacing. Whoops. 45 degrees. Yeah, now we're good. Cool. Yeah. So we'll save it, we'll go back, and so now we've got some nice 45 degree angle lines. Alright. And for this graphic, I'm just going to make a little color adjustment at the top. I guess I could do an adjustment layer, but I think I'm just going to do a multiply. So yeah, 60. And this seems pretty dark. So let's see. It may just seem dark because my room is a little bright right now. I need to get some really dark shades. Whoops, what did I do? Alt delete. Overlay. Alright, cool. So we lit it up just a little bit. And so any colors that we add later on should be good. So yeah, funny. Should really do the with adjustment layer, but I just made it on my own. All right. So back to my game. Let's I'm just going to change the outer canvas to be custom. Alright, select custom color, and we'll just choose this blue. Boom. Alright, so now that we made our floor tiles, even though there's a little basic, we could still do some modifications to it, but for now we'll leave it as is. Let's get on to making some wall tiles. So just to keep myself organized, we're going to name that floor tiles, make a new folder, name it wall tiles. Alright, and then we are going to do a width of 100 by 300. And just for scale, whenever making these games, I feel like it's always the characters are 2/3 of the wall height. So that should work. And I think we're snapped in there. We're snapped in. Good. And we'll name this wall tile 1 underscore. And the reason why we're also naming these files, so I had mentioned before that, you know, why I named it 1 and why this is going to be 1 is because later on, you know, you're going to name it to be something else. And if you see like copy 78, I totally forgot that I put the word copy, but if it ended up putting like 1 and the next one was like 1 1, you'd be like 1 1, what the hell? So now it's like 1 underscore and then the number, so that works. Or if it just put a 1 at the end, it would look like it's 11 instead of 1 and then onto 2. So anyhow, hope that makes sense. So this is wall tiles. I actually have to make the folder wall tile. Oh, never mind. Nope. Convert to smart object. Boom. All right. So going in again. Now we're going to make our wall tile. And we can make it a little lighter than what this bottom tile was. So, whoops. Let me close that other one so this way I don't have too many files open at once. So that one was 2626. We'll make this one 666666. Boop. All right. Cool. And for the wall tile, we can just put another graphic in there. You guys still there? You're very quiet. Did I get kicked out of my own hangout?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Do you find any of this interesting, Rasmus, or do you know all of this already?
Well, I'm just focusing on my work here.
All
Trying
right.
to find out how to do this. Trying to make my character fight or create attack areas, hitboxes.
Ah, nice.
How I'll get that to work.
Cool. Is there anything that's that I can show into the video, or should I keep it hidden?
You should keep it. You can just keep it hidden.
All right. I won't show anyone. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys were in Draw and Chat, haha, that's my other community. If you were in Game Design and Chat and Rasmus was screen sharing, then you could see what he's up to. But for now, it's under wraps.
Super secret.
Super secret. That's right. All right. I didn't change my layer color. All right, cool. So make this 20%. Yeah. And make a new layer. One. Boop. Cool. And then I'll add a little grit to my wall just to give it some texture. Alright. And I'll save it, go back to the game. And that's a very basic wall. So if you're trying to make a futuristic looking level, this really is not what you would use, but it is a starting point. So we will just use this as is for now. Alright, I'm going to put one over there. Cool. And we'll go back. Back to the future. And I will also put in a little bit of lighting with a gradient. Oh, no, don't want to do that. That's my textures, right? Yeah. Textures! Gradient. Oy. Gradient? That's with an E, right? Gradient texture. Gradient light. Okay. Cool. Alright, and back. So now we have our graphics going over here. And real quickly, the reason why I changed the border is because I wanted to be able to see what's outside of my game area. I'm going to switch this to black real quick, and then I'm going to show you something interesting. So, you know, when you're making these games, you're creating a map for your characters to walk around inside of, but sometimes, like, you don't really need all this extra area if you're not going to be playing over there. So if the map doesn't extend into the top left corner of the screen or the bottom left, and it's just going left or it's going right, or maybe, you know, you're going to go left and then it's going to take you to a whole different scene, you're going to have like a cut sequence or whatever, then it's not necessary to make, you know, graphics for the outside areas. So if you want it to blend well, then you should put a like a gradient that matches your outside area and make the outside area one specific color. So real quickly, I'm going to do just that. So let's create a little rectangle, make it like 20 pixels, no, 10 pixels height, 100 width, and okay. I could have just done this with the gradient, but this will be good too. Where did this orange color come from? I see. .90 degrees. Change the scale to 100. I had to move it, I don't know why. But anyhow, so now you'll see that it goes off into not being there. So we're sort of fading it into the top area. So that's something that you could do, or you could do like a whole border design if you so desire. But sometimes just fading it into the abyss, I'll call it, works. So back to making this more space-like. So let's say, for example, like the area is like going into outer space. Maybe we can make a background like a window and then put some stars in there. Doodly-doo. I'm going to grab the same bevel that I used here for the floor tiles. Okay. That didn't do quite what I wanted it to. That's alright. Clear layer style. we'll do this from scratch. Like as if we're drawing it. Oh my gosh. Drawing? Who does that? Should I go lighter or darker? I'll go lighter. Alright. And in actuality, maybe I shouldn't do this here, but just for the time being, I'm going to do this. Alright, so we made our window. And I guess I could make small boxes, but I don't want to have such high repetitivity. Repetitivity? Did I just make a new word? I don't even know if that's a real word. Or high repetition of the same texture over and over again. That's super noticeable because I'm going to put stars in there. So here's like some stars. Totally just a pixel. And then we save it. And then we go back. So now we've got, our little viewport to the stars. And so as you can see, it's not totally noticeable that it's repeating, but I think it is. And so that's why if you want to put a window on its own tile and then put the tile on top of the tiles, that works too. A little transparent tile action. Never hurt anyone. So now I'm just going to just turn on my color adjustment layer, just see how it looks blue. Give it like a blue effect. Cool. And alright. So one of the other things that you want to do is you're going to create some other wall tiles that have like a 3D effect to them. Because this is, still 2D graphics, you still have to generate like a 2D effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my wall tiles from wall tile 1, and I'm going to make a corner wall tile. Convert to smart object, so now I'm going to have a new one, and then we'll double click to go inside of there. And what we'll do is we will just take a 25 pixel circle, boom, and use the rectangular marquee tool, and then we're just going to mask out the stuff that we're keeping. I mean, you could totally just do this with a brush, but I'm just making it a little simpler. So let's do that using a mask. Alright, so now we've done that, and let's move our tile. Where is our tile? Why isn't it showing? Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, did we just find a bug? Oh, no, we didn't. We found that we put it inside the folder that is turned off. Ha ha ha. Okay, so now you can see that there's this little curve here. So you should paint the graphics. But I was trying to do a quick way of doing this. So let's paint. Alright. And I have snapping still turned on, so that's Control Shift semicolon. Yeah, sometimes that can be a real annoyance when you're trying to make curves and stuff into guidelines. But in actuality, because we're using like 25 radius, we could have used like a shape or something to do this a little faster. But still, for all intents and purposes of doing this as a tutorial and as a sample, we're just doing this real quickly. So now back into the game, we have it turning. But as you notice, there's still like a weird thing going on. It's still flat. So we're going to add like a little bit of like a light effect on it to show that there's a bend going on. So the main light is in the front, and then we could add like some darkness. We could use a gradient, I guess. So painted corner curve. Make a new layer, make a quick gradient, so you can do that, lower the fill to 50% about, and go back in. And now you can see it's sort of like the corner is wrapping around. But in order to complete this effect, we definitely need to get that tile from the floor into our game. So let's open it up real quick. We'll just do a copy. What is it? Edit, copy. Copy merge. Control-Shift-C is what I had done. And I'm bringing it back into here. And pasting it, and then I'll line it to the bottom. Okay. And then save. So now we don't have any weird transparency. It's, it's nice, the same color as the rest of the tiles that are around. And now you get to see that there's like a gradient separating this area from the other walls above. And I guess, alternatively, you could also do a curve on this tile right here. So you could like put a curve here to like have this wall, this wall like coming down into the same effect if you wanted to, but it's all up to you. So this way you'd have to create like a new tile just for that one. Alright, so we did our corner. Are we going to need that corner anywhere else in our map? Let's just change this to medium gray real quick. Yes, we will. Okay, so we can Alt and drag this file over here, Shift and go up. Cool. Very good. I'm going to move all these wall tiles over because I have to copy them. Bloop. And then I will make more. There we go. How are we doing on time? Alright, we've got 22 minutes left. Pretty good. Sorry for making all these weird noises. Alright. So, as you see, I really don't like having this window here on this one. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into that other PSB file, and I'm going to separate all these into different windows. So we have the wall file there. I am going to take all of this graphics, put it in a folder, and I could save that because we can always just see it. But I'm going to shift and drag it over to my other PSB file, And what happens when you shift drag is you are moving the contents of one PSD or whatever window file you have open and dragging it to another one in the same exact position. So you don't have to worry about snapping it in there. It'll just go to the right spot. So as long as they're the same size, so 100 pixel height by 300 pixels, 100 pixels width by 300 pixels height in this case, it will automatically do that. So now you'll see I have in my right side layers, I have my folder that I had made, and I'm going to delete out that PSV file from before, and now I'm going to get rid of the window, just because I don't like having the window constantly there. And I will remove it from my other wall set as well. And it should update. Why didn't it update? Oh, I see what I did. Because I did not take it from the original PSB. Wait a minute. Am I talking crap? Sorry, guys. Let's go from the original PSB. Doodle-doo. And then hide that. And there we go. So now it updated. So, yeah, I updated the wrong one. I updated the PSB that was inside of my PSB. So, that's why it didn't work. So I guess it's good to make sure that you're checking the right files. I guess now I've just learned a lesson on my own, which I guess you could take into consideration, is to make yourself a PSB holding file. So you can put all your PSBs in there so this way you don't get lost, because that would suck. Putting a whole bunch of PSBs all over your scene and then not knowing which was like the original. So, alright, so right now this is looking a little bland, because we just have some walls. There's no characters, no like cool monitors or anything for our space station scene. But we'll add some more funk to it. Cool. Alright, so I made our one corner. I think we could just flip the graphic and that would be awesome. So I'm going to do that. Let me find my corner. It's so annoying. Sometimes the scroll mouse wheel it stops working. I don't know why. Alright, and then we're going to transform, flip horizontally, and we're going to call this left corner. Boom. Create a smart object. Convert to smart object. Alright, and then we have that, and then we're going to go into this one, and it's flipped, which is fine. We gotta spread out our images. So left corner, cool. So we've got this, we're gonna click and drag using shift, boom, it's in there. Then we're gonna go in, edit, transform, flip horizontally, and boom, we're good. Close this out, get rid of this, save that, and then we're missing our floor tile because it's made from that original piece. So I'm just gonna grab the color because it's not 100% needed that we need to put the actual graphic in there. Alright, so now we've got our left corner tile. Awesome. Great. Back to full screen again. And black. Nice, so now we have like a corridor to go up another way. We come in from this side over here. And now we can create some other walls. Alright, so we should create an extra tile here in the top right, top left, and whoa, how is this possible? Did another hour start all on its own? I think I just started another hour. I hope not. Let me check my screen. Alright, we're at 46 minutes. Okay, Google. Set a timer for 13 minutes.
Okay, 13 minutes.
Alright, so I just want to give you 1 hour of this. We don't want to go over an hour. We'll always make another video for 13 minutes or for another hour of the other graphics. But I'm just going to show you piece by piece how to do a level for the 3/4 view. Alright, so where was I? Oh, right, we were going to make a tile for over here. And the reason for doing so is we just want to continue on our wall that's going up in this direction. I'm just going to quickly yeah, so our wall is going up this way. So we want to continue this up this path. Not on this side. Sorry, let me fix all this. So you want this to continue. So we're going to need like a bend going up here. So I'm just going to quickly make a bend. I'm just going to copy these graphics here. Boop. And paste. And then move this up. And then we can just use this here. Hold on. What size should we make it? I forgot if we made it 20 pixels or not. Alright, we'll go with 10. And we'll just fill this with the black. Put black inside. Bloop. And then we'll copy this and turn it into continued wall. Continued right side wall for border. Cool. Yeah, that should work. Oh, it's a really long name though. So that sucks. You can try to come up with a better naming system. So you could use like RT for right or CTD for continued. Yeah. So we'll definitely have to make like some small tiles to assist with making these continuation parts. Because as you see right here, this corner is not going and meeting up with that. So we'll have to make another square tile that'll cover this, and it'll just have this portion done to go into like a curve effect with the shading. Oh crap, did I really do that? Try and do a tutorial properly. Come on, guys. Convert to smart object. Alright, so let's go in there, and then we're just going to add gradient. Going back the other direction. Okay. And that one's set to 100 by 100. And right corner wall. Wall tile, right corner. Top. Yeah. All right. Shoot. Okay. I'm just going to turn off my snapping. So what I did was I just took the same graphic that was below. Pardon me if I just burped into the microphone. That was gross. I just used the same graphic. I copy merged it and made a new folder and put the graphics inside of it. And so now I just want to use this here to curve my wall upwards. So now we can erase this a bit. Yeah, so we're going down to the pixel level to really make this nice and perfect. But that's what you want to do. You got to do it, right? Oh yeah. So trying to make it as perfect as possible. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Alright, so now we have our curve going up into the dark zone. And let's take that tile and we'll make it into a new one. So we're going to call this one wall right, top right, curved. Okay. And yeah, I guess they're all going to be the same. Always going to have the darkness in there. The only time we might not have the darkness is if we have like another room behind it. But even so, you're still going to have like a darkness or some sort of alternate. But we can always change that at any time. But at least we made a tile for this. All right. So we did that. I have 4 minutes left in this video, but I think I did like a little intro. I just think I'm just going to leave this as is, and then we'll go on and do another part 2 at another date. So here it is, the level so far. Whoops. Feel free to let me know what you think of this video in the comment section, and if you appreciate any of this, please feel free to subscribe and share this with other people you know. Alright, and if you got any negative comments, feel free to show some hate. Yeah! This sucks! Throw it in the garbage! Burn it! Yeah! Okay, anyhow, that's news for now. This is Lion, and I'll speak to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.